Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl. Now, roll tape!
Now it's time for Abraham Lincoln's Psychic Connections. And here we have Honest Abe in person. Now he, of course, grew up in the backwoods of Kentucky, where people believed in spiritualism. He and members of his family would always go visit gypsy fortune tellers when they were in the area. Then when he assumed the presidency in 1861, he regularly had psychics and spiritualists as guests at the White House and partook of seances. For example, in December of 1862, the leading psychic of the day, Nettie Colburn, was at the White House. She went into a trance and spoke with the voice of the late Daniel Webster, urging Lincoln to enact the Emancipation Proclamation. Soon thereafter, in January of 1863, he did indeed enact it, apparently at the urging of the voice of Daniel Webster. Lincoln himself had many precognitive dreams, the most famous of which he described to his cabinet just 1 week before his death. In his dream, Lincoln said that he was strolling through the corridors of the White House when he saw crowds milling about. He asked the guard, "What has happened?" The guard told him that, "Don't you know, sir, the president has been assassinated." And of course, 1 week later, April 14th, 1865, John Wilkes Booth assassinated him at Ford's Theater. Mrs. Ulysses S. Grant, the night before his assassination, also had a vision of that terrible event and actually urged her husband, Ulysses, to leave town, to leave Washington, D.C., just in case he might also be on the target list. With regard to John Wilkes Booth, when he was an infant being cradled by his mother, she had a dream one night that his hand, the hand that gunned down Lincoln, would actually grow to immense proportions and become the hand, the paw of a monster. Then when John Wilkes Booth was a collegian, he went to a gypsy fortune teller who saw that very hand and said there was tragedy in it. And she urged him to join the priesthood to avert disaster in the future. Now many luminaries have claimed they spotted Abraham Lincoln in the White House. One was President Theodore Roosevelt, another Dwight Eisenhower, there was Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, and also Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of England. All claim and put their reputation on the line by saying they saw the spirit of Lincoln strolling through the corridors of the White House. And Lincoln himself was aided during the Civil War by the ghost of George Washington. He did not see Washington's ghost, but rather General George McClellan in September of 1862, while he was in his tent trying to head off General Lee, claims that the spirit of George Washington suddenly materialized in his tent and showed him a living map, a living tableau of the forces where the Confederates were headquartered. That led to his defeating Lee at the Battle at Antietam in Maryland, which was the bloodiest conflict of the Civil War, and it prevented Lee's forces from actually invading Washington, D.C. So there you have it, the psychic connections of Abraham Lincoln.
Now until next time, may the power of the cosmos be with you. Yes, yes, yes!